right, Minnesota Governor Tim Walz saying he is taking action to combat the massive fraud scandal in his state.
But not before trying to shift the blame to, you guessed it, President Trump.
What? Madeleine Rivera is live in Washington with the latest. Maddie, good morning.
Good morning. Minnesota Governor Tim Walz is now rolling out a new statewide fraud prevention program. In a post on X, Walz says his state has been taken advantage of by, quote, an organized group of fraudsters. Minnesota has drawn controversy in recent weeks over a fraud scheme involving several departments and nonprofits. Money that was supposed to go to services like child care, COVID-19 relief, and autism care instead went to items like luxury cars and properties. The Justice Department estimates about $1 billion in state and federal taxpayer funds have been wasted. Still, Walz took shots at President Trump, who has criticized Minnesota as a hub of money laundering activity.
Donald Trump brought this to the attention like this is something brand new. This is not brand new, and it's been being worked on, but he made it white hot and very dangerous. When I speak up, it brings Donald Trump's petty vindictiveness to Minnesota. And this is all about coming and attacking us. He didn't know anything about this. He doesn't know how a Medicaid program works. The only thing he knows about is he's going to double the cost over the next week.
Meantime, Fox News Digital reports a whistleblower is exposing a similar scheme in Ohio.
Minnesota was just the tip of the spear. The problem today is not the community. It's actually the criminals within the Somalian community that have exploited Ohio's Medicaid program. They've been able to find loopholes in Ohio law to provide for care for family members, even when they don't need it.
Cook says states should be asking for audits of their Medicaid systems and programs to avoid fraud. Charlie, Rachel, and Griff.
All right, Maddie Rivera,
Maddie.
good point. Yeah, we should go nationwide, not just in Minnesota. But the case in Minnesota, the Feeding Our Future, taking money from poor children is among the largest fraud cases we've had anywhere related to the pandemic. And now having Governor Walz out there trying to defend it, trying to shift blame to President Trump. Ilhan Omar saying that, well, if there's money going overseas, then that's the FBI's fault. It's ludicrous. It's outrageous. And at very best case scenario, Walz's administration and the governor himself would be incompetent. On the worst end of the scale, it's corruption for looking the other way. Because remember, Governor Walz was also calling out whistleblowers. At the end of the day, one of the biggest developments, I think, yesterday was Treasury Secretary Scott Bessent announced that he is going to do these geographic tracking order to look into the money services businesses to see if, we know now from the CBS reporting about these luxury cars and villas in the Maldives and whatnot, but this was $1 billion. So where did all that money go? And there is a suggestion that some of it may have been going back overseas. Now the Treasury Department is trying to look into whether there is any criminal enforcement that it could be being sent back to possibly terrorist organizations.
Well, it was also not just Feed the Children, but there was a whole autism scam as well. And they were paying parents to pretend like their kids had autism, so then they would take the money into these centers. And I mean, the whole thing is just rotten to the core. I want to see, were officials looking the other way because maybe they were getting kickbacks themselves, that money was getting laundered overseas and then coming back? There's a lot of possibilities here of what could have happened, because I find it really difficult to believe that this amount of money could have escaped the eye of so many officials in that state. So, I want to wait and see what happens with this investigation. I think it could go deeper and get uglier than we actually think. Here's Tim Walz saying, it's not me, it's Donald Trump, or it's white men. Watch.
What do you want to hear more from, instead of just saying, don't blame us? Do you want to see more ownership and oversight from within the Somali?
Look, it's not law-abiding citizens. If that were the case, there's a lot of white men should be holding a lot of white men accountable for the crimes that they have committed. It's asking us then, for every crime, which of course the majority being committed by white men, asking us to do more about that.
So obviously, Democrat politicians are obsessed with race. They use race to get power, and now we see Tim Walz using race to try to evade responsibility for something that he is completely responsible for. I think you make a great point, Rachel. And we do know for a fact that many of the people that were involved in this were politically connected to Ilhan Omar and Tim Walz. And this is the way these government scams work. People come to politicians, corrupt politicians, and they say, hey, we want to feed the starving children. And Tim Walz and Ilhan Omar go, okay, yeah, let's do that. And they go to the federal government, and nobody at any point says, well, show us the starving children. That's never been asked. They just say, okay, we're going to put out this bill that's $2 trillion. We'll give you some of it. How about that? And so then they take it. And then when we find out that there's been $1 billion in fraud that has been taken from these starving children, their answer is, oh, you don't want to feed starving children, and you're racist. That's the way these things always work. And, can you imagine if Republicans had been behind this scam? There would be TV crews all over Minnesota looking for these starving children and doing like videos of, oh, and this child died because Donald Trump stole this money. But it's Tim Walz and Ilhan Omar, and it's crickets. Nobody is looking for them.
Yeah.
I want to see the starving children.
And that's such a great point, Charlie, because it's worth pointing out that Ilhan Omar sponsored the 2020 Meals Act, through which it subsidized the USDA to keep paying for feeding these children, poor children, and yet her program is the vehicle through which all of this fraud was able to transpire.
Everybody wants them to be fed. It's just that they're stealing the money before it gets to them. But just show us the starving children.
Want even more Fox News on YouTube? Become a Fox News Patriot today. Click join to find out how.